What's up, YouTube? We're on our way over to our friend's house, Josh and Liz. They got a couple nests on the side of their house, so we're gonna get those taken care of and hang out with them for a bit and have some fun. I'm gonna try one of these neck fans out today under the suit, see if that helps to keep me cool. I guess we'll find out if they're beard proof. So maybe we'll get some good laughs if that catches on my beard while I'm doing it. Stay tuned for the video. Thanks. I did these two removals on September 14th. This first nest here was a little bit more aggressive than the second one, but both of these nests were Aerial Yellowjackets. Okay, in today's video, I think this is the first time I've made a video using this product, but I'm using a Mr. Longarm pole, and the yellow attachment on the top is called a gotcha sprayer. The first thing I did on both of these nests was I went up there with the dust. So my goal was to get the dust in the nest on everything, just to give myself a reassurance that if I missed any of the flyers, I still got them. Now, I considered doing this one without the suit on. I didn't think that these ones would be flying down to me, and as you'll see here, there actually were some that did come down periodically. So I don't know if I recommend this to just the regular homeowner. I guess if you want to take the risk, use the pole, keep it up high, you probably would be all right, but I would say proceed at your own caution. If you don't know what you're doing, give someone a call that does. This nest was pretty aggressive. You know, a lot of people automatically will think that the bald-faced hornets are the most aggressive ones. I think they might pack the most punch. But I have noticed with these Aerial Yellowjacket nests that when they come out, it seems like they all come out. Versus the bald-faced hornets will kind of come out in waves, typically, in my opinion. Okay, I clipped a little bit out, but I switched to just the Raid Flying Insect spray. I like using this spray for, you know, the swarm around because it is more of a mist than a jet. So right now I'm just trying to kind of knock down some of the numbers and just get these done as quick as I can, really. With whichever method I use, whether it's an insecticide or the vac, you know, I found that kind of backing off for a minute, letting them regather, and then coming back in is typically a good way to do it. As you can see, even here, I just let that pole sit up for maybe 10-20 seconds, and I got another group of, you know, I think 20 that probably regathered there. So I think I say this in all my videos, but both of these nests that you'll see today both started this year with one founding queen that was already fertile in the spring, and the numbers just slowly grew. These nests are built out of, you know, I call it a type of like paper mache. So they go out, chew on some trees and some hardwood, and then make that nest. All right, so we're heading over to the second nest, which is just on the other side of the house here. Now, this nest wasn't very active, but there still was some flying in and out. And stay tuned, but we'll take a closer look at both of these nests, and you'll see kind of the size difference. This is where this long arm pole is pretty nice because it is nice and easy to adjust. There are some much more expensive options out there, but I actually think this is a more versatile option that works just as good. So I'm just doing the same thing as before. I'm going to start with the dust, let that sit, do its thing for a couple minutes, and then if I need to, I'll switch to the spray, and then I'll come back and scrape both of these off. I'm going to talk about it again at the end of the video, but when you're using this type of bevel, you do have to kind of shake it up every once in a while to loosen it all up. And you'll see a couple different ways. I'm kind of pumping this thing faster than I normally would to try to shake it. And then I think right here, you'll see I try to shake it from down below. That also is why I'm bringing this thing up and down so much in this video. Nah. Takes the powder a few minutes. I'm just making sure I get the dust on all of them, that way I don't go with the other spray, since I already got the nest, you know. All right, so the numbers had already significantly cut down. This first one, I'm gonna hit it with the spray just a few more times. My goal, whenever I really leave anywhere, is just to try to have all, or at least the majority of them, taken care of. Once the nest is gone, the comb's down, the queen's dead, these nests are done, but you probably will have a few linger for a day or two. And, you know, Josh and Liz have a couple kids, so I wanted to make sure that these were all gone. All right, I did another attachment switch, so now I basically just have like a putty knife that's got a little bit of a bend to the blade. I'll show that blade at the end of this close up. It's really nice with that bent angle on there for scraping these off. Here's one close-up of this nest. At the end, I'll have a little bit more of a steady shot of both the nests to just get a closer look. But 3 layers of comb. There still was some pupating adults and some larvae in there. Decent-sized colony. All right, back to nest number 2 here. This nest really didn't have too many in it, so it didn't need any additional treatment. But same thing, just gonna scrape it off here real quick, and then we'll take a close look. And here's the first close-up of that. This only had one small piece of comb in it. I looked all around where that had fallen, thinking that there probably was a second one, but this was all that there was. So we're going to look at this a little bit more here in a moment, kind of talk about what may have happened. This is another shot of these 2 nests from last night. This was the first nest that I did. As you can see, 3 layers of comb. Still has a good bit of pupating adults in this nest, as well as a little bit of larvae. And then this is all the comb that was in that second nest. So I don't really understand what was going on with that nest. There is a little bit of capped over cells where some larvae is pupating, and then there is larvae in there too. But I looked all around when that fell. That was the only comb that was in there. That nest only had probably 5 or 10 inside of it, from what I could tell. So I don't know. I don't know if that nest was previously disturbed. Maybe it restarted. I was kind of thinking possibly maybe the queen had died. I know the workers will be able to create some drones on their own, you know, miscellaneously, if they lose a queen. But if anyone has any ideas on that nest, let me know. Again, just a little comparison. You know, the one here on the bottom, that's the second nest, and these other 3 are from the first nest. All right, so I want to go through this gear that I used. In today's video, you know, you saw this gotcha sprayer. It's not something I use a whole lot. Honestly, it's been a couple years since I have used it. Most of the time, if I can, you know, I'll get up on a ladder or just be able to reach them from the ground. But this thing is pretty slick. Basically, if you're using either the can or the powder, you can set this in here, and then this thing adjusts real nice and holds it. And then the string's probably about 30 feet long. and when you pull on the string, it'll just push down and actuate that button, and then it uses whatever the can or the bevel's natural spring is to kind of reset, so there is no spring on there. The head's adjustable, so you can adjust the angle, and then it screws on to the bottom. Now you can see with this bevel that I was using, this is kind of the one that's designed for this. There is a hole inside the gotcha sprayer that this little end piece can slide into, and that kind of holds it in the spot. Pretty nice. You just put that on there and then tighten this little ratcheting bolt. Okay, and then obviously the spray can works even easier. The big thing with this type of bevel, when you're doing this, you know, I typically will only fill this up about halfway or maybe 3/4. And when I'm doing it with my hand, you'll see I'm shaking it up. So with the pole, sometimes you can whack the pole and that maybe shakes it up enough. In the video itself, you saw me bring this down a few times, and basically I shook it by hand and then sent it back up. All right, inside of the bevel, what I've been using lately is this Drion dust. I also will use the Tempo 1% dust. I find that this kind of has a little bit faster knockdown period. Either one works. You know, when you're using these, just make sure you read and understand the safety precautions, as well as check out any local, you know, requirements or regulations that you have. But this stuff's all, you know, I buy all this stuff off of that DIY pest control site. I'll have a link for that. And then in most of my videos, you'll see me use this Raid flying insect spray. So this and the dust don't have an immediate knockdown factor. I like this because it has a mist instead of a spray or a jet. So this is good for those ones that are kind of hovering around the nest or the hole entrance. All right, the other thing that I use with the pole is this scraper. I think I got this at either Lowe's or Home Depot, but it's one that has like a bent blade on it. So it's been working out really good for scraping them off. And then, like I said, it's very solid, but has that screw-in feature for the pole. All right, and then this is honestly one of my favorite tools that I own. I have a lot of different uses for this. I have an earlier video from probably 2 years ago cleaning my gutters. I'll put a link to that. But so I use this to clean my gutters. I also use this for removals. I'll send the GoPro up to check out the gutters or just do an inspection of something high up. And then I've also used it for changing out some light bulbs that are high up. But this is an 8 by 23 foot pole. Gives you a good reach. It's a quality product. Holds up very well. I put this thing through some pretty good abuse, and still working out well. So I do really recommend this pole if you're doing something like this. I'm sure there's other brands, but for the cost of this, I think it's worth it. All right, and then the last thing I figured I'd throw in here. So as you can see, I'm a big guy, sweat a lot. This year's been pretty hot. The humidity's insane where I live. So this is one of those neck fans. I think I got this one on Amazon. It's probably, I don't know, 18 bucks. So yesterday was kind of my first try with this. I think I liked it. It definitely helped keep my head cool. The suit I have is ventilated, but it still gets really hot. And then on some of these removals, particularly the bald face hornet ones, I typically will wear a hoodie just for a little extra padding. So it's pretty easy to get hot in those suits. I'm looking pretty soon here to start doing some more of the attic removals. So those are always hot, but this seemed to work out all right. We'll keep kind of giving it a shot. I believe this is advertised as fanless. There was one time, I don't know if I got it in the video for this removal today, but there was one time that my beard did seem to go in here a little bit. I was kind of wondering about that, but it didn't seem to be that bad, so I think I'll take a couple snagged hairs over sweating. That's gonna be it for this video though. I am trying to kind of get back into this whole YouTube thing a little bit more. I do sort of like putting these videos together. It is kind of fun for me. So if you like this kind of content, you know, please consider liking and subscribing. It's still a small new channel, so any little bit helps. If you have any comments or questions, tag them down below. I'll try to get back to you with an answer or, you know, my opinion on whatever it is. But thanks for tuning in. Stop by again.